Jeff Immelt is out at General Electric. The company just announcing that Immelt will be replaced by John Flannery as chairman and CEO. Flannery is the current president and CEO of GE Healthcare. Mike Block, to you first, what to make of this? Again, it speaks to what GE is today as a corporation. And by the way, Immelt will stay on as the chairman through December of this year.
Right, and this has been talked about for a while. You've had some activists involved in the stock. Largely, this company has been left for dead by investors. They're in a situation where they've cut off some of their businesses that were profitable and generated cash flow over the years, including the financial part of the business. They've been paring things off. Meanwhile, healthcare, which was Flannery's domain, has been chugging along. Maybe margins were topping out there. Margins in lighting, which I think people think of GE, they think of lighting. Right. That's cutting off. That business is probably for sale. Meanwhile, they expanded heavily into oil and gas. They're merging operations with Baker Hughes right at the time where margins are getting squeezed there. There's a lot of doubt about their dividend. There's a lot of doubt about their free cash flow going negative. People are really down on the stock. The question is, will investors view this as a positive step, bringing in Flannery, who's someone I think is a fresh look, someone who's done a good job running healthcare in most investors' opinion. Will it be good? I think it's a positive step, but this company still has a lot to get through. I think someone on another network the other day said, GE is the market. Look to GE, which I thought was kind of a...
Who says that anymore?
Someone who shouldn't have said that because it was kind of a silly thing.
Yeah, that's an old
thing.
That's an old rusty saw somebody broke out. That's a chainsaw with the chain is all rusted.
Hey, person who shall remain nameless, 1999 called. They want their stock market theory back.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Anyway, that's why you're all here. So in any event, what it comes down to is this company doesn't have the relevance it once did, but it's obviously a bellwether stock still. We're going to see if this can turn around. In
the last year, the stock is lower. This year, the stock is down. And you can look at the pre-market reaction to the fact that Jeff Immelt is out. I think it was up about 2.5% in pre-market. That does say something about the need for leadership change.
Interesting story of transformation, though, in that company, because when most people think about it, we were joking before, what most people think about them doing, they're in a completely different business, and they fancied themselves a bit of a technology innovator. So maybe the change is all part of the transformation.
The end game may be we're looking at GE Healthcare as one entity, GE Oil and Gas as another, and then after that, what's really left? The industrial businesses, heavy ones there, but lighting is not left. Maybe this becomes 3 or even 4 companies at the end of this.
So perhaps you've diversified yourself.
Are you saying that they'll just break the company up?
Yeah, it would be easier for investors to understand. It would allow focused business models. That's what it would come down to. They have a huge wall of debt and cash flow issues to get underneath then. So Flannery, you're up.
And 2 weeks ago, Jeff Immelt came out. He stated the $2 earnings per share guidance of 2018 would be the high end of expectations, actually. And did he, should he not have said that in terms of guidance is coming down? We're really going to have to stretch ourselves to meet these $2 earnings targets.
Well, he really, in his defense, if you will, he had to because he was being pressured to talk about it. And, the fact of the matter is, with the debt servicing they have to do and the margins shrinking in oil and gas for now, and I think that could come back, that's the issue with this company. So very challenging, and people are saying, you know what? We're not, it's time for Jeff to leave, and I think that finally the board and everything else got to him, and,
Great analysis, Michael.